Watch how I flip. Watch how I whip. I'm in the whip. All in the wrist. I never switch. Ice in the wrist. Car on the wrist. All in the wrist. Watch how I flip. Watch how I whip. I'm in the whip. All in the wrist. I never switch. Ice in the wrist. I get the money, but I never switch. They saying you switch 'cause you won't get it. You know they came from the bottom and now we is lit.
Coach, the rain is falling, the fans are soaked, but here's the bottom line. We've got football at M&T Bank Stadium in Baltimore, Maryland. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Cincinnati Bengals and the Baltimore Ravens. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line.
Here we go, Pac-Man. 180!
Go! Hey, alert three. Out.
Please.
Check. Watch twist. Watch the
Shit.
The former second-round pick, this is Joe Mixon. 5 yards on the game's first play, second down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down, a very solid gain on that play.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5.
I'm coming after you.
Now Joe Mixon.
Let's go. Come on.
And some room to run now. And finally, he is out of bounds, but not before taking it down near the 15. A big play that time for the Ravens. 55 yards.
1st and 10 at the 15-yard line.
A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone.
Switch.
Great 57.
54 is Mike.
Let's find two.
Out of the shotgun, they run with Mixon. And this will leave them a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down. The impressive opening drive continues and just space being created by those guys up front.
We're seeing this the same way, aren't we? We are seeing an offensive line, as this game gets started, as it starts to unfold, that they are dominating the line of scrimmage.
Now it's Mixon running right. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. Only gets a yard, but it's enough to set him up 1st and goal. You were telling me this yesterday. This is exactly what they want to do on the opening drive, establish the ground game.
Yeah, remember our conversation? We were talking about what one of the GMs in the league has told me repeatedly. It's a big man's game, and it's not necessarily size. He's talking about playing some big boy football. Line up, get leverage, knock people back, and establish the run early.
They'll try to pound it in with Hill. And he will take it in for a Ravens touchdown. Justice Hill, his first touchdown on the year. And the Ravens take it all the way down the field and score on the opening drive. Footing always a concern, but the extra point's up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. This fielded at the 2. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
Get ready.
The Bengals take over 1st and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
Prescott looks to throw on first. And a diving grab. I think he got that. Yes.
Here we go.
A good pickup there, 21 yards.
I'd have to say that whenever you see a good post route run, they do not like to let it end without the catch. Hence, that great diving play.
Yeah, lay it up there, let him go get it, and he got it. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Out of the gun, here's Prescott. Looking for Green, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the Pro Bowler, Marcus Peters. And it's a tremendous return as they finally get him at about the 10-yard line.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
Suddenly, it's 1st and goal after the interception. A quick change in the situation here.
Lion.
They'll give it to Mixon. A good run, 8 yards there, and it'll be 2nd and goal. Getting the sense, Charles, they're going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far, it's working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
Mixon trying to punch it in, and he'll get in. Touchdown, Baltimore. Joe Mixon, his 2nd touchdown on the season as the Ravens push further out in front. Solid job up front, really just a solid job all the way around to get that one in.
That was well executed, wasn't it? Well blocked, well run, end result, 6 points.
Touchdown. Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and it's now 14-0. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
The Bengals take over 1st and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
The Bengals drive about to get going. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything, at least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6.
Back. He's crashing.
They'll run with Hunt on 2nd down. And he tried to bounce it outside, but they'll stop him behind the line. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down. Plays like we just saw there, that's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Prescott from the gun. Looking for Green, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Levante David. And he will bring this back. It's a pick 6 and a Raven touchdown. Tucker now to add the point after. we'll see if this rain affects the team's decisions going forward, but they kick it here, and it's good. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air.
And that drives coaches insane, doesn't it? When they see that happen, it just doesn't feel right, does it? Plus, you're giving up yardage.
A very good starting field position for the Bengals here as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 43. They'll get this out wide to Boyd. I call it no gain there on the first down play.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly.
Here we go.
Fix the mic. Hey, D-line, let's get in there. Let's get in there. Check your hot read.
Then we're going to 53.
Joker.
Here we go.
Check 31.
26.
On second down, it's Hunt. The second down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
The Ravens bring out an extra defensive back here on 3rd.
65.
From the shotgun, it's Prescott. He's going to air it out deep for Green. It's caught inside the 25. 33 yards that time. 21-0 our score after 1. So the big play gets them all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. On first down, they'll run with Hunt. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. The tackle credited to Deshaun Elliott, the safety.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Tighten up.
26.
He gets this one to Boyd. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
3rd and short yardage. Prescott. This one caught by Crowder. And they're going to lose some on this play. Being knocked back to the 18. Well, this is how you shake the thoughts of that interception on the last drive. You come out and start this one 4 for 4.
And watching him throw it around with that type of confidence reminds me of a guy I played with way back when who told me, I don't care if I throw 10 interceptions in a row, I'm going to stay confident and keep flinging it. I just figured there's something wrong with the football.
So they do get 3 points, but that's now 3 drives with only the 3 points, not a ratio that's going to win you many ball games.
Not at all, Brandon. And think about it this way. We all know payoff is the key, right? And wouldn't we love to have the concession on every T-shirt that's been printed in football that says finish on it? Because that's the mantra everywhere. Got to be able to finish drives, put points on the board.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well. And he's been right.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10.
They're not ready for this. They still
They'll run with Mixon.
Watch the
Call it about a gain of 3, and they'll be looking at a 3rd and 7 coming up.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
The Bengals with 2 extra DBs, a nickel look on 3rd.
Blanketing the passing lanes.
Empty. Bang, 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 bang. Other side, solid.
Switch it. Come on, switch it.
Working from the gun, Wentz, flushed out right. On the run, he'll let this go deep into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. William Jackson with a pick. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week, 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away, and that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals, and if that keeps happening, they lose confidence.
And he goes down. The Ravens able to get to him. Tyus Bowser in there to get him. It's a loss of 5. Got to assume this defense will be charging again here. It's 2nd and 15. They'll run. This is Hunt. And down he goes at the 49, a 3-yard pickup.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. And the Bengals on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 11.
Push him back.
Throwing, Prescott. They'll go screen here to Hunt. And they will get this across midfield, but still well short of the first as he's dropped at the 46. 5 yards on the screen, but that'll take us to 4th down. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy up here sometimes. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Ravens will take over at their own 20-yard line.
At their own 20-yard line.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
Over here.
Crunch. Shift. Slam.
To throw is Wentz. And down he goes. They bring down Wentz on the sack.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
On 2nd down, here's Mixon. They get 2 yards back, but they're going to need a lot more than that here on 3rd down. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half.
Here we go. 280. Go.
Switch.
46 down, man. 5-4.
Watch 57. I'm coming for you, son.
Hey, Zoo. Wait, son.
On 3rd and long, it's Wentz. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Carl Lawson with a little how do you do as he gets in there for the sack. The Bengals going to use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 45 seconds to go in the first half. And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. Erickson now to return. A good return there, 17 yards. And the Bengals will take over in terrific field position.
At the Ravens' 45-yard line.
Line 36. I got it.
They'll run on first down. Hunt, and the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here, and that'll make this a 2nd and 13. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Marching in for the sack, Matthew Judon. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Bengals drive about to get going. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them.
59. You can't block me. You can't block me.
47.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Prescott on the catch. It's Crowder. And they'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for 3rd down.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice gain.
They'll get 14 on that one. Good for a Bengal first down.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
I used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this. When he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. They'll try a little trickery here on the end around. And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. That'll set them back with a loss of 3 on the play. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 13.
Line 36.
Hey, kill.
Now Hunt. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for 3rd down.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. He's got his man, Boyd. And he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens' 44-yard line.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
Prescott off play action. Here as he's taken down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Prescott. Green brings it in. They get 16 out of that one, but they'll still need to convert on 3rd.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air, and sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
And he's going to go down. Back near midfield at the 49. Michael Pierce, in all of his 340-pound glory, gets the sack. The Bengals bring out their punter now, as he'll kick it away for the second time. And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. And this will be out of bounds. Now it's a question of where they'll mark it. And they'll say it crosses at the 11-yard line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the third quarter. You're 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. Again, it's Mixon. And he's going to be taken down shy of the 10, right around the 9-yard line. Just a yard there, so it brings up a tough 3rd and 12.
Brings up 3rd and 12.
There we go. Back. 180.
Check. Watch 54.
Hold on.
Watch the slant.
Now Wentz on 3rd down. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down. The Ravens send their punter out now, as he'll punt it away for the second time. Here comes Erickson.
Good work, Warren. Let's go.
The Bengals
Let's
take
go.
over 1st and 10 at their own 48-yard line.
And this will probably be the last play of the quarter.
55 to Mike. What we got?
On play action, Prescott. And he's going to be taken down. They sack him on what will be the final play of quarter number 3. Back now in Baltimore. It's the Bengals. They've got the football, but they trail here as we get rolling in quarter number 4. That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go.
25. Check 25.
They'll toss it to Hunt. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
And it's 3rd down.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Prescott down. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. Despite a pickup of 16, they're still well short of the sticks on 4th.
Brings up 4th down.
Their already slim hopes are going to ride on this one. They'll go on 4th down. Now Prescott on 4th down. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Marlon Humphrey. And the return stops just a few yards shy of midfield. They'll spot the ball at the 47-yard line.
The Ravens take over 1st and 10.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. That turnover might just about do it. Here, 4th quarter, the lead that you got, they can just run the football, run the clock.
Exactly right. They played smart, a couple of 1st downs, and this one should just about be over.
The linebacker, Preston Brown, brings him down.
It's now
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6.
74. Hey, Alpha.
Here's Wentz to throw. He's going to let one fly for Tate. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Sean Williams. And a short return will be stopped inside the 10 at the 8-yard line. So they get the takeaway, but that's just step 1. They still have a lot of work to do.
But they don't want to focus on that now. Now it's about getting the ball in the end zone and hoping they can take it away again.
Yeah, still 3-score game, though, 4th quarter. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And he's dropped just shy of the 25 at the 24. A Bengal first down on the 16-yard pickup there. Prescott now, a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. Here's Prescott. He'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he goes nowhere. He'll lose yardage back at the 17. They'll wind up losing 7 yards on the play. And it'll make this a 2nd and long. Play fake. Here's Prescott. He's going to air it out deep for Green. And that one almost intercepted. Far too loose with the football here. Nearly a 4th pick. And it's 3rd down. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he? And
what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure. The backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
Now the throw on 3rd down, knocked away and incomplete. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And the Ravens, they'll take over. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive.
54's Mike. 54's Mike. Check. Watch 54.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Carl Lawson picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
Kill.
After the sack on 1st down, Wentz. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
The positioning here is key. As a defensive back, you're taught 99% of the time, make a play on the football. But in this case, making a play on the man was all the difference. That's what forced the incompletion.
The Ravens on 3rd down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This will be 3rd and a mile.
Check the backer.
Kill. Sunday.
SOS.
Hey, Delta.
57's the mic. 57's the mic. Watch the out.
From the gun, it's Wentz. Eluding the pressure right. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. William Jackson with a pick. And he is going to get this one back to the 20-yard line. So now he's equaled his interception total from a week ago. Remember, Charles, he had 3 last week.
And you know, all week long he vowed to take that number down. Told the guys on the team, don't worry, things are going to pick up. I've got this. But he is in a major league rut right now. Let's see if his teammates can pick him up along the way.
You're right. He talked about being cool, calm, collective, rebounding. Not rebounding right here. Tackle made by Tyus Bowser. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Bengals in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. On 2nd down now, it's Hunt. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Bengal TD. Kareem Hunt, His third touchdown now on the year. And the Bengals use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. Bullock good on the extra point, and it makes the score 21-10. Now Bullock will send this one away after the touchdown. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point. Oh, they go with a tight end carry. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27.
I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last 2 drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the defense.
This, in all probability, another run here on 2nd and 8.
5-7.
57's the mic. Rock 57.
Go.
57's the mic.
Wentz to throw. It's caught by Aguilar. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That one covers 24 yards. It's a first down. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Nixon will try the right side. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That's now a pair of explosive plays in succession, both north of 20 yards.
First and 10 at the 28-yard line.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10.
Man 5-7.
Now Wentz. He completes it to Tate. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards. So the final seconds tick away in this Baltimore victory. And it was a game where they were off and running in the first quarter, Charles, and never looked back.
You know, partner, after a while, we always say the same thing, don't we? They set the tone early, right? They started fast. So I asked a few of my horse racing friends, do you have a term for me that we can use to cover that? And they said, yeah. When a horse breaks out like that, you say he caught a flyer out of the gate. And that's exactly what this team did today. I mean, they jumped out there, jumped on them, and were never headed.
So for Baltimore, they're on a nice early roll as they move to 3-1 with a win here. And they'll be able to enjoy this one through the bye week before they get back at it again. Meanwhile, for Cincinnati, they're going to fall to 3-1 as they suffer their first loss. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.